I am the blood of Sanguinius, the strength of the Emperor's finest. My brothers and I stand as the last bastion against the darkness that threatens to engulf humanity. We are the Blood Angels, and our legacy is written in the stars themselves. The Blood Angels, one of the 21st founding legions of the Space Marines, were once known as the 9th Legion before the 2nd founding divided the Legiones Astartes into separate chapters of 1,000 Space Marines each, renowned across the galaxy for their ferocity in battle and feared for the curse that flows through their gene seed. The Blood Angels stand apart from their fellow Astartes. They are among the longest serving of the Emperor's warriors, with some battle brothers having defended the Imperium for over a millennium. Recent conflicts have left the Blood Angels' ranks severely depleted, bringing them to the brink of extinction. To swiftly replenish their numbers, they were compelled to request a tithe of neophytes from their successor chapters. This influx of fresh recruits, combined with the arrival of Primera Space Marines during the Indomitus Crusade, has allowed the Blood Angels to rebuild their strength. Yet, they face trials unlike any since the dark days of the Horus Heresy. The Blood Angels are the noble scions of the angelic Primarch Sanguinius, celebrated throughout the Imperium for their countless heroic deeds. Their visages adorn countless basilicas, their portraits gazed from cherished tomes, and their legends are whispered in reverent tones across a million worlds. But behind this veneer of perfection lies a terrible curse, hidden from the eyes of those they protect. When their beloved Primarch fell at the hands of the arch-traitor Horus during the climax of the Horus Heresy, every Blood Angel was forever marked by the pain of that moment. From that day forward, each son of Sanguinius has been haunted by visions of their Primarch's final battle. As a Blood Angel ages, these waking nightmares become more frequent and debilitating. Should they survive the crucible of war, they are destined to descend into madness, forever reliving Sanguinius' death, powerless to alter the course of history. The inevitability of their curse drives the Blood Angels to seek a glorious death in service to the Emperor and their fallen where lesser warriors might succumb to the dark urges that plague them. The sons of Sanguinius have remained noble and pure for 10,000 years. Yet, with each passing year, more of their brothers fall prey to the red thirst, an insatiable desire to rend their foes limb from limb in vengeance for Sanguinius' death. The sacrifice of Sanguinius stands as one of the most tragic moments of the Horus Heresy, though some claim his death weakened Horus enough to allow the Emperor's ultimate victory. The loss of the angelic Primarch is mourned to this day. The Blood Angels feel this loss more keenly than any, for the blood of Sanguinius still flows through their veins, a constant reminder of their glorious heritage and terrible burden. In the heat of battle, when blood is spilled and war cries echo across the void, the Blood Angels are gripped by a fury born from the final moments of their Primarch's life. For some, this thirst becomes overwhelming, plunging them into the Black Rage, a state of perpetual madness in which they relive Sanguinius' death for eternity. These lost sons are gathered into the Death Company, unleashed as living weapons against the Emperor's foes. Across the Imperium, the Blood Angels are revered as angelic warriors, their likenesses carved in marble, painted in oils, and woven into tapestries in countless holy places. Their winged Primarch is venerated on innumerable worlds, his perfect visage gazing down upon the faithful with a mixture of benevolence and sorrow. The Blood Angels are the true inheritors of Sanguinius' legacy, bringing death from above to all who would threaten the Imperium of man. In all their endeavors, the chapter seeks the beauty of perfection, and in the art of aerial assault they have no equal. While all Space Marine chapters are masters of the drop pod and Thunderhawk assault, the Blood Angels have become synonymous with flawless execution of death from the skies. they have embraced a new pattern of vehicle, the Stormraven gunship, whose origins remain shrouded in mystery. The Stormraven appears as a lighter cousin to the Thunderhawk, sacrificing some weaponry and troop capacity for unparalleled speed and maneuverability. While the Adeptus Mechanicus debated the use of this new STC pattern for centuries, the Blood Angels immediately recognized its worth and integrated it into their arsenal. Their forge has perfected the fabrication of these gunships to such a degree that they now form the backbone of the Chapter S aerial assault doctrine. As other chapters begin to adopt the Stormraven, the Blood Angels have already mastered its use, developing tactics that others are only beginning to grasp. Their mastery of aerial warfare is matched only by their skill in savage close combat. Whether delivered to the battlefield by Thunderhawk, Stormraven, or armored transport, the sons of Sanguinius are peerless in their ability to bring death to the enemy at close quarters. This martial prowess is partly due to the longevity granted by their gene seed, allowing centuries of practice and countless battles to hone their skills to perfection. Yet, it is not tactical necessity alone that drives the Blood Angels towards the fury of close assault. The Chapter S reliance on blood rituals to keep the flaw at bay exerts a strange and irresistible hold on each battle brother. In the midst of combat, the noble countenance of a Blood Angel can transform into a mask of savage rage, driven by the red thirst to spill the blood of their foes. This curse affects every son of Sanguinius to some degree, and for many, it is the prelude to the ultimate expression of the flaw, the Black Rage. The Blood Angels and their successor chapters, collectively known as the Sanguinary Brotherhood, bear a unique burden among the Adeptus Astartes. While most chapters see their battle brothers progress through ranks of seniority based on survival and merit, the sons of Sanguinius walk a different path, one hidden from outsiders. Despite recruiting from the radiation-scarred tribes of Baal, the Blood Angels possess an almost supernatural nobility. Their features transformed into masks of angelic beauty through arcane blood rites, over a lifespan far exceeding that of the average space marine. Each Blood Angel hones his skills while battling the ever-present flaw. With each engagement, the urge to spill the hot, steaming blood of their enemies grows stronger. To combat this, battle brothers spend increasing amounts of time purging their own bloodstream within their transfusion caskets. After centuries of service, a Blood Angel may spend hours suspended in this crimson embrace, every drop of his blood cleansed of the taint that threatens to consume him. Eventually, most Blood Angels begin to feel the stirrings of something deeper, the first echoes of the Black Rage. While many fall in glorious combat before succumbing to this final madness, those who cannot hold it at bay are consigned to the ranks of the Death Company, where they will find redemption in sacrifice. The sons of Sanguinius stand as a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. Their noble sacrifice, a beacon of hope in a galaxy consumed by darkness. Though cursed by the very blood that gives them strength, the Blood Angels remain true to their oaths, defending the Imperium with every drop of their angelic blood. They are the Emperor's finest, the heirs of Sanguinius, and they shall know no fear. They are the sons of the Angel, the bloodied host, the defenders of humanity. They are strength, they are nobility, they are the Blood Angels. And I say to you, there are no more loyal or determined servants of the Emperor alive today. Fate is a cruel master, for no matter how much his prey might twist or turn, no matter what triumphs they might rise to or what trials they overcome, he will still drag them down. The Blood Angels struggled against the fate written into their very genes, defied the role the Emperor chose for them, and dared to believe they could transcend the darkness that followed them. In the crimson-clad ranks of the Adeptus Astartes, none stand more resplendent than the Blood Angels. Their armor, a deep red reminiscent of spilled blood, gleams in the light of distant stars. Upon their pauldrons, the winged blood drop speaks of their heritage, a symbol of both their glory and their curse. The Primaris intercessors of the 2nd Squad, 3rd Company, stand as testament to their chapter's endurance. Their Mark 10 Tacticus power armor, a fusion of ancient tradition and Call's new science. They took the worst of mankind and made of it something bright and true, rising above what they had once been to stand astride the fledgling Imperium, like the guardian angels for which they were named. Yet, nurtured in their successes were the seeds of their fall, in the jealousy of the fallen War Master Horus, who saw in them everything he himself had thrown away. The opening stroke of the Horus heresy brought the Blood Angels to their knees, and the tragedies that were to follow would shatter their resolve and leave them broken. Such is the nature of the 9th Legion that they did not surrender to despair nor surrender to darkness, but rose again and again. In the shadows of war, the Blood Angels' infiltrators move unseen, their armor a deeper shade of red, almost black in the gloom. The right knee guard bears the squad number, a silent identifier in the chaos of battle. These warriors embody the adaptability of their chapter, embracing new tactics while honoring ancient traditions. What might have Sanguinius and his sons achieved, were it not for the dark fate brought upon them by treachery and genetics? What brilliant flower might have bloomed from the carnage and blood of their origins? That unknown future is yet another casualty of Horus' civil war. The Blood Angels left to endure the slow degeneration of their noble line with the stubborn pride that is their hallmark. There are many noble legends of the Unification Wars, of the battles where the Emperor's newborn Space Marine legions swept aside all who opposed him before them. Among these tales, there are none to be found that mention the 9th Legion, only grim rumors and half-heard whispers, where the first companies of the other proto-legions were blooded in Albia, Indonesia, and Frank, alongside the massed ranks of the Thunder Warriors. The 9th Legion was absent, granted a role as vital as it was unsightly. The Blood Angels' tactical marine stands as a living relic of a bygone era. Clad in Mark 7 Aquila power armor, his presence is a reminder of the chapter's long and storied history. The deep red of his armor, adorned with gold trim, speaks of both the blood they shed and the nobility they aspire to. The 9th Legion served the Emperor as an inferno serves a general upon the battlefield. They did not conquer, but instead ravaged, growing and growing as they went, a weapon that could not be directed or controlled, only endured. Few in number, the early Space Marine legions fought as mere vanguards to larger forces, a sharp dagger alongside the blunt sledgehammer of the armies of unification. They were the fulcrum upon which battles turned, the point of control, waging small-scale battles by precision strike and audacious raids. The 9th Legion was made in a different image. Even in their earliest days, they were among the largest of the proto-legions, and when they made war, it was like the sudden arrival of a tsunami, sweeping away the opposition in a flurry of brutal assaults. In the annals of history, the pre-heresy Blood Angels stand apart. A legionary in Mark 4 Maximus power armor embodies the pinnacle of their martial prowess before the fall. The deep crimson of their armor, not yet darkened by the grief of their Primarch's death, shines with a terrible beauty, a reminder of what was lost. They found themselves deployed to the most dangerous war zones of terror, to those accursed regions ravaged by the radphages and chemstrains of old night, places where only the most twisted and debased breeds of mankind still lived. In the wastelands that existed outside of history's spotlight, they held the line, alone and unnoticed, while the Emperor drove home his grand conquests. This grim fate was no accident, no arbitrary choice made by a distant general for each of the legions. Had been granted genetic tools to fit the roles for them by the Emperor, and the 9th Legion was no exception. Where other legions took only the best recruits, princes, and champions among the conquered techno-barbarian nations of old Earth and produced but few initiates, the 9th Legion took in the hordes of dispossessed and broken, and made of them an army of angels. Scarred by so many long generations, mired in the rad zones and sunken fortresses of Terra's poisoned wilds. These creatures were no longer entirely human, but horribly mutated beasts that the tyrants of old Earth had driven out and hunted. Yet, from such base materials emerged a breed of legiones Astartes, uniformly tall and fair, their features sculpted in stern elegance. Legionary Arven Skirn of the 14th Shock Assault Detachment, 32nd Mercian Rift Jinkel, stands as a testament to the 9th Legion's origins. His Mark II Crusade power armor bears the scars of countless battles, its color scheme a precursor to the deep red that would come to define the Blood Angels. In his stance, one can see the raw power and barely contained fury that characterized the Legion in its early days. The unique genetic template of the 9th Legion's as yet unknown sire seemed to favor the twisted, and warped, though the pain it inflicted on those inducted into the Legion was more than most could bear, as those weakened by years of exposure to the most horrific rad zones and poisons rarely survived such an ordeal. The number of recruits that endured to become Astartes of the 9th Legion were few. Yet, unlike the other legions, the 9th cast their net wide and claimed entire tribes of wastelanders, prisoners of war, and the long train of hopefuls that always followed in their wake, seeking the miracle of transformation. The bloody-handed apothecaries plied their knives without rest to keep the Legion at fighting strength in even the most hellish war zones. And though the legend of the 9th languished, its ranks did not. Even as their ranks swelled, the dark rumors that followed them grew as well. For the Emperor's legacy had endowed them with other, darker gifts. These gifts were also to grant them a new epithet among the rank and file of the Emperor's mortal armies, the Eaters of the Dead, for in the wake of each battle, the elegant forms of the 9th Legion haunted the field of battle long after the fighting had ceased, seeking out the finest among the fallen and feasting upon their flesh and blood. Many of the victories fought to bring unification to old Earth were marred by the sight of blood-smeared angels stalking the fallen, and wounded champions of the enemy across fields choked with corpses, though few among their detractors realized the purpose of this grim fixation. For this too was part of the Emperor's grand design, for through the genetic augmentations that had transformed them, the 9th Legion were capable of stealing their enemies' power from them, genetically absorbing their knowledge and skill, and making them their own through the use of their omophagia implants. All that was required was the consumption of the foe's bodily tissues. In the broken places where they fought, alone and far from aid, this trait brought the 9th Legion priceless information and made even the most raw recruits battle-ready. Yet the macabre reputation they had gained hung about them like a shroud, lessening their achievements. They had been created to fight monsters, alone and in the darkest places. But in doing so, they risked becoming creatures even more foul than those they fought.